Hey, there we go. I don't know where I'm looking right now. I guess I'm looking. I think my camera's right here. I'm not sure. What's going on, guys? Lee Sanders here from the RCWR Show. I am just literally a couple of minutes removed from the CM Punk fight that just went down at UFC 225. I gotta tell you, man, what I just witnessed. I'm really shocked. Let me tell you, I'm a little bit speechless. This is my instant reaction, so you guys got to bear with me as I try to find my way through everything that I had just literally witnessed within a few seconds. But I'm going to try to process this and give you my instant reactions as best as I can. For those of you that maybe had solved this bout, I definitely want to know what you had made of this. Now, my setup is a little bit different because I'm actually taking it easy tonight. Honestly, I didn't want to do a full-blown UFC 225 after show. I really just wanted to come on here, talk about the CM Punk bout, and if anything, follow up on the RCWR show this coming Tuesday night, talk about the entire UFC card, because I did watch the prelims, everything leading up to this bout that we had just now saw. So, my God, where do I begin? First off, let me just say, CM Punk has always had my respect. From the moment that I first became aware of him, which honestly was a bit around the ROH time, the Ring of Honor times, and I've pretty much been following his career since then. Am I a hardcore CM Punk fan? I'm not a hardcore fan, but I am a fan of his work. We know about what went down with this man 638 days ago, as that was the last time he fought in the UFC. That's the last time he had a MMA fight. And we all could be in agreement that, wow, you talk about very green. That match was very green for CM Punk. That was just, okay. Now you fast forward 638 days later. Here we are again. CM Punk. All right, let's see what you got. Father Time has been that was more focused. This CM Punk that we got tonight at UFC 225 seemed to be a bit more patient, really trying to get a good feel on his opponent and Mike Jackson, trying to figure out, okay, how you going to come at me? And you hear the records. You say, okay, 0-1, 0-1. They both lost to the same guy. Okay, this is practically even. When in actuality, there is a major gap. And that gap is you have one individual that has been training in the martial arts. You have one guy that has been, just now deciding that, okay, I want to embark on this career path. And I think what we had saw tonight, for those of us that watch Jackson, CM Punk, it is a couple of things. One, just because you're in the gym 24/7 and you're being shown, okay, this is how you do this move, this is how you need to execute it, etc., etc. Just because you're shown how to do a boatload of moves, it does not mean that you have a PhD, as in this case, a MMA fighter. It does not mean that. You have to continue to go in there match after match after match after match. And that is how you hone your craft. It doesn't matter how many months. It doesn't matter how many years. You could be in a position where you're getting all the training in the world. The only way you're really going to learn is to go into that octagon, or in this case, that ring, and be facing opponents on a consistent basis. That's really how you're going to be able to learn. And I tell you, what I saw tonight from CM Punk, he has my utmost respect. I think with many people, he's going to have their utmost respect. But for me personally, he had my utmost respect when he had his first fight 2 years ago. He's got my respect this go round. A lot of heart, a lot of dedication. And let me tell you something, CM Punk got an ass beating in this one. and ass beating. This was a no-brainer. 3 rounds, 5 minutes each. So you had 15 minutes total of a match. Mike Jackson dominated in each round. In each round, this man dominated. Now, I took some quick notes, just, jotting down what I had saw from this. And I got to tell you, off the break, first round, Mike Jackson was just winning on the strike games alone. Just on the strike games alone. What really told the tale for me, as far as who's going to win this match, was the first round. Seemed like the two of these men were really kind of fill each other out. And the very first time, you guys will recall this as well, one of the first times we see CM Punk, he does a spin kick. And you're going, wow, okay, he wasn't able to do that 2 years ago. Okay, he's learned a couple of new tricks. But the thing I was really concerned about was how wide open on the offense he left himself wide open. Because as pretty as that spin kick out of nowhere was, when it was time for CM Punk, okay, you've done your kick, now put yourself back in rotation, front center, looking at your opponent. The time it took him to get back to his initial fighting stance, looking at his opponent and Mike Jackson face to face, making eye contact, I'm going, my God, Mike Jackson could easily just go in, rush, boom, 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 hit the strikes, or go for the quick takedown, put him in a submission hold, go for a guillotine, whatever, and that's pretty much it. And once I don't know how it was for you guys, but once I saw CM Punk do that spin kick, and how Mike Jackson just gingerly just was looking at what he was doing, I'm going, yeah, Jackson's got this. Look, I didn't like saying that, but I'm saying to myself literally, Jackson's got this. And sure enough, first round, Jackson winning on just a strike game. Punk was good when it came to standing up and he was taking some really good hits to the face as well. Really did not do a good job in protecting himself, I personally felt. But he seemed to be a bit strong when it came to his stand-up game. But I tell you, once Jackson got him down on the mat and everything, that pretty much was it. But then what was really a telling tale for me and just downright disgusting is you got to go into the second round, all right? When you realize, and I think when we realized through the eyes of Mike Jackson, okay, this CM Punk dude, okay, I see what he's about now. I'm going to play with him a little bit, and that's exactly what we had saw in round 2. Some would say it was very unsportsmanlike for Jackson. I'll leave that to you guys' own respected opinion. Did I think it was a bit tasteless how he was treating CM Punk? I did. And to those of you that's just now tuning in and you keep asking who won, you can see the title of the piece. You should be able to see the title of this episode that we're doing for you guys right now. I mean, newsflash, CM Punk, he lost if you can't read the title. So, again, I'm just coming on here giving you guys the instant reactions, the play-by-play by what all had went down. We're only talking about one match only, and that's going to be it, okay? If you're new, welcome. My name is Lee Sanders, and you're checking out the RCWR Show. We've been covering all things wrestling and entertainment since 2011. Little bit of wrestling, little bit of basketball, MMA. We do a little bit of everything here on this channel. So to recap, for those of you that are just now tuning in and you cannot read the title of this piece you're checking out right now, CM Punk lost to Mike Jackson at UFC 225 about almost 15 minutes ago. We're talking about the second round right now where Mike Jackson had showed a little bit of unprofessionalism towards CM Punk. And the unprofessionalism basically came, if you want to put a nice pretty ribbon on what went down in the second round, we pretty much had saw Mike Jackson put CM Punk in a takedown, and for practically the entire damn round of round 2, we see Mike Jackson on top of CM Punk, knows he has him right where he wants him, and you just get this feeling that Jackson at any second, when he felt like it, he could have wrapped this match up. He could have gone in with some devastating forearm strikes because he did bust open. I can't recall which side of CM Punk's face, but he did bust him up from the first round. And even his trainers, we were just talking about the spin kicks that Punk was doing in the first round. You could even hear, and I was watching this with my girl, and we're both saying the same thing, the spin kicks, he's got to stop it. You hear his trainer say to him, stop the spin kicks. Don't do it anymore. Keep your ground game up. Try to stay off of the fence. Because in the first round, dude kept hugging the fence. Punk kept hugging the fence. Second round, pretty much takedown by Jackson to Punk, dominating the entire time on top of Punk, and just elbow strikes, punches to the face. And then just at one point, just to see Mike Jackson just wind up the fists, just wind him up, you know, playing with his food, if you will, and just tapping CM Punk. You're going, oh my God, this is so freaking unprofessional. This is heartless, man. What the hell? You even had Joe Rogan say, no, this needs to stop. The referee needs to get in here. The referee needs to step in and take these guys off of each other, because the way Jackson is doing Punk right now, this is not cool. Jackson needs to show this guy a little bit more professionalism, as that for Rogan to even say that, right? You could tell when Rogan's trying to be sympathetic, but in this case, Rogan, you can legitimately feel that Rogan felt Jackson was being unprofessional to Punk right here. But that was pretty much the second round. And I tell you what, whatever stamina Punk had left in the second round, it completely went out the door when it came to the third round, where once again, it was pretty much rinse, repeat for Jackson. Jackson, it just really felt like he was playing with his food. All right? You know, a lion, and they pounce on their prey, and once they're on top of the prey, well, what are they going to do now? Are they going to go in for a feast, or, you know, are they going to just play with their food for? That's what it seemed like with Jackson. So, I mean, if you want me to come on here, and if you want me to say that CM Punk, a lot of heart, God bless his heart, yes. As a fan, God bless him. God bless him. God bless him for going in there and doing that. I mean, when you get right down to it, though, look, if we all were given an opportunity to have a match for about 15 minutes, we're going to get bruised up big time. We're going to have a swollen eye and all that, but we're going to walk away, win, lose, or draw. We're going to walk away with a pretty good, decent amount of money in our pockets to be able to provide for our families. Come on, be honest with yourselves. A lot of us are going to sign up for that. Okay, I'm going to get my ass beat probably for about 15 minutes, but I'm going to get a nice little paycheck? Yeah, sure, what the hell? So, I mean, it's just a matter of who actually has the balls to do something like CM Punk did. Not once, but twice. But, you know, on a lot of questions now, and some of the people here in the chat were bringing up the questions too. Instantly, you're going, so what's next? You know, what's next for CM Punk, right? Dana White has already gone on record in a recent round of conference calls, all that. He basically said to the press, hey, look, if CM Punk loses this go round, you can almost rest assured that his career in the UFC probably done. It's done. Dana record pretty much went on record and said that. So keeping that in mind, if a CM Punk wants to continue fighting in the MMA world, he won't be able to do it in the UFC. Now, look, I know we had a lot of people that were upset at the fact that Punk made it to the main card. A lot of people felt he should have been part of the prelims, but when you really break it down, you got to think about that last fight from 2 years ago. Just how many CM Punk / WWE / wrestling fans actually tuned in to see his MMA debut 2 years ago. You got to factor that in. That probably brought in the UFC, Dana White, a decent amount of money. So for Dana White to kind of say, okay, you know what? I think we can do this a second time. I don't know if I really want to risk it a third time, but I think we can do something the second go round. This time around, we can say Punk had X amount of time of training. He's been training with the best people. But if you've been keeping abreast on what's been happening with Punk during his training. You even had some of the people say, his progression is not where we want it to be. You know, it's coming along, but nah, he still, it doesn't really come off as though he's fully grasping it, right? So you now have this in the books. If Punk wants to continue an MMA career, bless his heart, he's going to be able to continue a career, but it's not going to be happening in the UFC. And quite honestly, hindsight's 2020. I wish he would have started much lower, whether that's Bellator or what have you. I really wish it would have started much lower. But if he's going to continue, you know, it's going to have to be with another promotion. It's definitely not going to be with the UFC. After this second rodeo, there's just no way. There's no way fans for a third time would pay to see Punk on a UFC card. Even your diehard fans, and I would like to believe even the diehardest of diehardest fans after tonight, what they saw of their beloved CM Punk was a goddamn massacre. Straight up. It's a goddamn massacre. You know, I didn't think he was going to make it 15 minutes. I really didn't. After what I saw of the first round, I did not think he was going to make it. The way I had scored it, you know, I know they say in the UFC you can't score it like 10-7, but the way I was looking at it for each round, I'm going, man, that's at least, for me, I was saying 10-7, 10-7, 10-7 all the way, but you can't rate it like that. It's usually, you know, 10-8 or 10-9. I'm going, okay, well, 10-8, 10-8, 10-8, but if I can have it my way, 10-7 all across the goddamn board. I don't know what's going to happen with Mike Jackson next, but you've already got Forbes magazine, you've got SB Nation, you've already got The Sun, you've already got a boatload of publications that are going, so what's next for CM Punk after this devastating loss? What's next? Well, look, you can't really feel too damn sorry for CM Punk because a major morale victory he won this week with regards to court, the lawsuit that had came against him and his best friend Colt Cabana for the podcast that had went down a couple of years ago, where CM Punk just fired off on a boatload of crap that made him feel very disgruntled in eventually quitting the WWE. Had some very tasteful, salty things to say about one WWE Dr. Chris Amon. That doctor really did not take those things lightly. Didn't think of those words very too kindly and slapped him with a lawsuit. So, I mean, all these years, CM Punk has been trying to shake that last little bit of residue known as the WWE off his back so he can officially move on with his life. This doctor had initiated this lawsuit late 2014 going into 15. It has pretty much been in the works since then. So this week, verdict was reached. Jury, judge, they basically were like, you know what, with regards to defamation, slander, all that, nah, doctor, no, CM Punk and Colt Cabana, not guilty. Get the hell out of here, okay? And I would definitely recommend you guys go check out the Colt Cabana podcast because he uploaded a new episode this week. It was about 48 minutes long, and he talked about the whole ordeal, really gave good insight into everything that's going on for those of you that don't have time to check out the transcripts of all the days happening in court. If you want to just have it nice, packaged, you don't mind a friendly voice in your ear, check out Colt Cabana's podcast. About 48 minutes long. He recounted everything that happened these past couple of weeks, including the verdict. There's even a piece at the end where he's talking to his lawyer that had helped him out during this whole ordeal. So it's a great listen. Go check it out. So, you know, you can't really feel too bad for CM Punk because he did win that. And then also, he's got the signing that's going to be coming up in Chicago at the Pro Wrestling Tees store on Friday, August 31st, of which, by the way, the RCWR Show is going to be hitting the road. I will be out there. Yes, I will be out there. So for those of you that's going to be in the Chicago area, that same weekend, mind you, that All In is going to be going down. And it's rumored that CM Punk is maybe going to be making some type of a cameo appearance there. I will be going out there that weekend. So if you're going to be out there, maybe you want to grab some drinks, bite to eat after doing the CM Punk meet and greet or whatnot, let me know. Maybe we can try to hook up, do a little something, yeah? Be some really cool stuff. But, in retrospect, man, I'm not going to come on here and I'm not going to even tell CM Punk what he should not do. He's a grown ass man. Like I said, you can't really feel too sorry for the guy because he's got all these great things going on. Got a beautiful, lovely wife in AJ Lee, so life can't be any better for this guy right now. But I'm not gonna tell another man what he should do with his life, what he should do with his career. My message to CM Punk after this, I'm sure he's probably going to be kicking himself in the ass, and he's probably going to be going, "Oh my God, I'm now fucking 0-2. Well, do I really want to continue to do this? I'm almost 40. What the hell, right? Honestly, my advice to CM Punk is just, now that you've got this out of the way, and I know we're going to have a lot of people that's going to say, well, maybe it was the court. Maybe it was everything leading up to the court. I'm not biting into that. I'm not going to bite that apple. I think that's a crock. I'm not biting into that. But what I would say to CM Punk is, hey, take some time, take a couple of weeks off, just decompress. In the same week, you had to deal with a trial and you had to deal with a fight. Now that both of those are over, just kick back, relax for a couple of weeks with your family, your friends, just mellow out. And then afterwards, think about what your next career move is going to be. But find what makes you happy. That would be my message to CM Punk. Find what makes you happy. Stick to it. Whatever's continuing to keep you happy, stick to it. That would be my message to him. So I'm trying to see if I can pull up some of you guys' comments before I get ready to wrap it up. If you guys had appreciated what I did for you guys, make sure you throw the thumbs up. A little bit different for this go round. I usually have my studio set up. You can see my microphone and all that other good stuff, but I'm using the tablet. So I wanted to come on here and just, use the tablet and see what's going on. Can I pull up the chats? See, I want to read some of you guys' chats here. All messages are visible. What's going on? Hey, there's the chats. I had to do a swipe. See, a lot of good chats here. Shout out to Chris Jericho. It might be the Chris Jericho. You never know. But shout out to Chris Jericho. That's the handle. Shout out to Weezing336. Shout out to Vin Smoke. Shout out to Kuko. Shout out to JJ. Shout out to Joker. Shout out to Lord Raven. And shout out to Maurice. And anybody else that's going to be checking this out live and or on demand. And I see Lord is saying Dana White is going to tell him sorry, but you got to go. Yeah, that conversation is probably going to happen, Lord. JJ, UFC told him carry the bum. We owe Vince a favor. I don't know about all that. JJ would also add, he didn't lose. He committed career suicide. I would know about all that. I would say if you look at what he did 2 years ago and you look at what went down just now, I would say this one, I guess just because of the sport of showing professionalism, this one seemed to have stung a little bit more. You really felt as though Mike Jackson was holding back, that at any moment when he wanted to, he could have just knocked the hell out of CM Punk. He could have knocked him out whenever, but he didn't go there. Let's see. Other than that, Weezing, that's right, man. Punk wasn't a college wrestler like Brock Lesnar. He has to build from the ground up. Yeah, this just goes to show there are levels to MMA. The UFC is top of the line for a reason. So true. So freaking true, man. Let's see what else we got here. Jericho, I think he enjoyed it. Just imagine you're a huge pro wrestling fan. You got the opportunity to face the Undertaker at WrestleMania. Oh, you're talking about with regards to Jackson, how he probably felt? Yeah, there probably was a big part of him that was probably geeking out at the fact that he was facing a a big, well-known celebrity. And yeah, I would like to imagine that that's probably a nice, good W under his belt. Yeah, probably. Let's see. Other than that, see, that's it. So keep the comments going. I'm gonna go on ahead. I'm gonna shut this down. I do appreciate you guys that had checked this out. Like I said, for those of you that may be a little bit curious about the rest of the UFC fight card, I'm not going to be talking about it tonight. Instead, I'll be talking about the full card exclusively on the RCWR show, which you can catch Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, as soon as WWE SmackDown goes off the air. If you like to talk of wrestling, a bit of basketball, hockey, entertainment headlines, things of that nature, then the RCWR show is the show for you. Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern after SmackDown. You can catch it live here on YouTube, also live on Facebook, Spreaker, and the RCWR show app that's available for free in the Google Play Store. Just search the RCWR show. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Use the keywords the RCWR show. And yeah, that is pretty much going to do it. Yeah, again, the UFC card, I'll cover that on this Tuesday show. That's not going to be available anywhere else. That's just going to be exclusively on our podcast. So make sure you check that. Retweet, all that good jazz. I'll see y'all next go round. Y'all take care.